Have you been to Combined Gifts on Reddit?
Combined Gifts?
Yes.
No, I've never even heard of it.
They do neat stuff like this.
Okay, Combined Gifts.
GIF.
Oh, okay. I like that. I might have to take a look at Combined Gifts or on Reddit. Is it just R Combined GIFs? GIFs, whatever.
GIF. Combined GIFs.
Yeah, but is it R with the slash? Combined GIFs?
Yes, it's always that, and then it's always the /R/ and then whatever.
Right.
It's always that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yes, but that's what I'm saying. Is that the name that I would look towards? That's all I'm asking.
The subreddit you want to look up is called Combined Gifts.
Thank you. Okay. Or yes would also be an acceptable answer.
I hear we're doing long, drawn-out explanations this week, so I was going to keep with the flow.
Thank you for playing in my world. That's right. TJ's lengthy explanations, where one simple syllable just will not do it justice. Are we ready, good sir?
Sure.
Hi, welcome to our show.
Well, hi, everybody! Coming to you somewhat live and semi-weekly from the Quad M World headquarters located in Helena, scenic North Valley. It's the Quad M Show. Here are your hosts, TJ and Jason.
As we like to start off, as we so often do, say hello and thank you to all the folks that are giving us the love. To you out there in Columbus, Ohio, New York, Downers Grove, Illinois, some country whose name I can't pronounce, so I'll just throw you into the Chinese bots. Ni howdy.
Ni howdy.
And let's see here. Port Hope, Michigan. Waterton, Wisconsin. The home base here in Helena, Montana. Pigeon, Michigan. Palatine, Illinois. And San Francisco, California. Burton, Michigan. And Rockville, Maryland. All you folks, as well as the others that have visited last week, thank you all so much. Unfortunately, when I'm reading the list, if we end up missing a week or skipping a week, it won't backtrack that far. It'll only keep within a week.
Oh.
So if we miss 2 weeks, I got to make sure to write some of those down, because there were also plenty of other folks that were visiting last week that are going unloved. So to you, we also say hi. I apologize in advance for my my state of unwellness. A little bit of the con crud picked up while I was at Wizard World Chicago.
Yeah.
Last weekend.
Thanks for bringing home the plague.
Hey, it's what I do. I think I caught it in that metal tube of death we call an airplane, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't know how that could have happened.
Oh, it's a thing. But no, I'll go more in detail with the Wizard World Chicago experience.
Of course you will.
In segment 2. Of course I will.
That'll give me time to research while you're yammering.
Yeah, so welcome to another fantastic episode of Middle-Aged Men Bitchin' and Moanin'. And good sir, how was your week? Or 2 weeks, I guess we can say. How was your time in between shows?
Well, let me see here. Work was work. Went fishing last weekend. I tried out my homemade Hobo Fishin Reel.
Yes, you showed me the video, and that was quite epic and entertaining.
And I'm quite pleased with the way it works. I am going to make a shit ton more and try to sell them.
Ooh. Are we looking to see Bert on Etsy anytime soon?
No.
Etsy, it's like the little...
I know what Etsy is.
Oh, okay. That would be an ideal place to sell it,
Huh?
I would think.
I don't know.
It's for the crafters and artisans out there. I think it would be a fine place to sell. Or would you be looking at just doing online, or doing like a little booth at the gun shows or type of thing? Or
I don't know.
Well, it's
Don't
all
know.
marketing.
I know.
I'll help you. I'll help you out with that.
And but it was a lot of fun, man.
So, for the kids out there that haven't seen it, and obviously as we're describing it, this here automatically is the patent. So if anyone rips you off, we can sue.
No,
You don't want to sue?
for a hobo fishing reel.
Well, Well, anyways.
It already has a name, dude. Okay? You can get on YouTube and look up how to make a hobo fishing reel.
I'm just looking at every avenue of income for you. That's all.
If I were to give it a unique name, that could be trademarked, such as blankety blanks hobo fishing reel. But hobo fishing reel is, yeah. As a matter of fact, they're called a hobo fishing reel all over the world.
How about the Vickers fishing line for the aesthetically displaced?
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Ain't no one gonna call it that.
No, I mean it's something you could still copyright and trademark. But anyways, so for the kids out there, I mean, obviously, like you're saying, anyone can look it up and see. But like, so please to describe, like, I mean, because you kind of went a special way going about it. I mean, as far as like what it kind of looks like for the non-fishing kids out there that may not know.
Well, it's basically just kind of a PVC tube with a flare at the end that you wrap a line around. It's a hand fishing setup, and you're basically tossing a line out. You can't cast very far. Not far at all, like across maybe like 20 feet is...
It's like for streams more than...
Like 20 to maybe, 40 feet would be pushing it.
Yeah.
It's for, but yeah, it's for creek fishing, small streams, small rivers, jigging. It'd work really well for jigging. I haven't tried jigging yet, but, it is it's all like a self-contained fishing kit. I mean, put this thing in your backpack and you got everything in there for fishing except bait.
Sure.
Live bait.
Well, and you had shown me like on the on the opposite end, you have like you set up like the little compartment to put like lures and hooks and all that type of stuff in there too.
Yeah.
So I mean it's a compact. You got it set up. I mean it's a compact all-in-one little ass kicker.
I've got the video on my YouTube, BUHRDT.
And you can see it in action.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's quite impressive to see it live and in living color.
It was.
You realize when you do the jigging, you're gonna have to. We're gonna have to supplement that video with a little bit of Will Smith getting jiggy with it.
I would kill you and bury you in a shallow grave. Let the coyotes desecrate your corpse. And then shoot the coyotes and sell their pelts to get more ammo.
To get more money to fund my booth rental when I go sell the bird fishing reel for displaced citizenry. See, there's the name for it there.
Is that even an acronym?
It is now.
Oh, what are the letters?
Birds Fishing Reel, BFR FDC.
BFRFDC?
Yeah.
BFRFDC. That doesn't... I don't know.
Birds Fishing Reel for displaced citizenry. Cue the banjo music. So I mean, pretty much the big story on my week, of course, was doing the Chicago Con, but for a little bit of a lighthearted tale. So as we're recording this Friday evening, on the 31st, it's that time of year again where I had to go renew my license plates.
Fucking bullshit!
And amongst all the other various running arounds I had to do today, this was kind of the tail end of it, and I went and picked you up because you needed a ride from work, and I says, well, I'm more than happy to. Just be aware we're gonna have to make a stop And I think mistakenly you said, okay, not realizing you're going to be sitting in the car for 45 good minutes whilst I was in line.
Wait, you mean napping in the car for half an hour?
There you go.
It wasn't that hard. It was a nice sunny afternoon. It wasn't hot and it wasn't cold. It was nice and perfect.
Well, and I left the window cracked for you, too.
Yep.
You know.
Left the window cracked and everything.
But, I normally wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be anything worth the storytelling. But, of course, this was the one time where I had to wait until the very last possible day to do it. And so when I went in there, the line was for some reason amazingly long. And nobody had a fucking clue what the hell was going on. And it shocked and amazed. As I walked up to the fucking line, as I walk up to the line, I asked the guys ahead of me, I says, is this the line for renewals? And 4 people turn around and go, I don't know.
Hey, what's going on this side?
I'm like, really? Okay, so this is already feeling like a splendid day at Walmart is kind of how that was feeling. And because the way they normally have it set up is I can't remember if they've usually got 3 windows, because the thing's got 4 windows. And I can't remember if it's like 3 windows is for renewals and 1 was for new title work, or if it was 1 was for renewals and 3 were for title work. But anyways, it was never all 4 working interactively together. And one of the gals comes from behind and comes walking by, and I stop her and I says, so how is the windows working up there? Is it just a crapshoot and everyone's in line? Are we grabbing numbers? What are we doing here? And she says, well, all the windows are kind of working together on this, so I think if you have to grab a number to do the renewals. And I'm like, okay, because that's the first time for doing that shit, but okay, whatever. So I decided to hedge the bet, went over, grabbed a number, and went back in line. And as it turns out, the grabbing of the number was for new title work, and the line was for renewals. And as we got up closer to the front, you can actually fucking see a sign. Had the other 5 people, looked and, just asked me direct, when I asked directly, they would have seen line for renewals starts here. So that would have ended that rather quickly. But now we get to the good part. So when it comes to my turn and I'm up at the deal, and the gal hollers out, next for renewals, or however it was that she yelled it. I go ahead and I go up. And holy cats, this was the cutest, I would say, middle-aged, like kind of our age, maybe slightly younger. I would hazard to guess maybe some type of Italian. But just gorgeous. So the immediate thing I fucking do is look to see if there's any ring on that left hand. Thankfully there wasn't, so then I didn't feel too bad when they started working the magic.
Working the magic.
Yep. And I go up and I says, so you guys take debit cards, right? And she's like, oh yeah, and then rattles off, oh, it's like a 2% fee for this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. All I need to know is, do you take the card? Boom. Okay, I'm good there. And
sure, it sounds like your type.
Yeah. do you take cards?
And gives a long, lengthy explanation.
So she says, okay, so it's going to be X number of dollars, which was far cheaper than what I thought. And she goes, well, you can also get the permanent plates. I don't know how many other states do this, but here in Montana, you have the option to get permanent plates to where you don't have to fucking renew your plates for the life that you own the vehicle after a certain amount of time. And I says, no, I can't really do that right now. I'll just do the annual here. She says, okay. And I says, boy, it sure got a lot cheaper. Because, I could have swore the card said this amount and like it's $50. She's like, oh, yeah, well, the Forerunners, boy, they hold their value. And I says, yeah, it's in my mind's an 07. She's like, oh, yeah, no, I got one too. And I says, oh, what year is yours? She goes, 15. And I says, oh, so you just must be looking at me going, oh, you and your broke down, busted up old 2007 Forerunner, huh? And she kind of giggles a little bit and all the paperwork and all that type of stuff. And she goes, okay, so here's this, that, the other thing. I says, okay, all right. She goes, you're at this address? And I says, yes, I'm at that address. And get it out of your head right now. I don't need to be stalked by some crazed Forerunner owner who's finding something in common there. And she's like, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. Not a chance, but I see what you're doing.
Oh, it was cute that you tried.
Well, I can't let the moment pass. And I says, of course I don't have a chance. I'm driving around in a busted up old 2007 Toyota 4Runner. And she says, that holds its value. And I says, it holds its value. And she hands me the new plates I'm to put on. And I says, thank you very much for being so gentle and shutting me down. Have yourself a nice day. It was nice. It was nice in the fact that she actually just acknowledged the fact, smiled, and says, I see what you're doing, as opposed to just giving me the look, like the look of disgust that so often happens at various bars and places of debauchery. Yeah, good times had by all.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have had a nap. Maybe I should have come in and seen that.
see me work my magic.
No, seen you get shot down. Right,
down in flames.
Right now, I'm remembering the old Bugs Bunny cartoons. Pirate the Bombadillo. Pirate the Bombadillo. Target inside.
That's all right, my friend. Any crash landing you can walk away from is still a good one.
Yeah, I suppose.
And worth the humbling experience of relating it to all you kids out there. All right. Well, considering we have got ourselves a chock full uploaded second segment with a little bit of FGS and a review of Happytime Murders, and we got ourselves a little return of Bert's moments in war history. I got to look back and remember what the hell we used to call that fucking bit.
I don't know.
Well, I that's the thing. I should know, but I don't. So I'm going to have to look at it. But anyways, another little wonderful war story from Bert. And then, of course, the recap of Wizard World Chicago. All of that coming up. And so we will go ahead here. We will take our first break, and we will come back with all the good stuff. Squad Up Show, gang. Stay tuned.
Have you checked out QuadMProductions.com lately? QuadMProductions.com is your direct access hookup to order the Enigma comic book series and download the Quad M Show podcast. Check the appearances page for upcoming events and contact us with any questions or comments. Don't be the only lonely soul who's missing out on all the fun. Visit us today at QuadMProductions.com. That's QuadMProductions.com. You're listening to the Quad M Show. 72.
Welcome back to the second segment of this here Quad M Show. Again, we are your hosts. I am TJ.
And Jason.
Welcome back to the show.
And this segment is brought to you in part by Mirror Salon and Spa. Now, I know you folks are saying to yourselves, damn, how does TJ get that awesome hair while his voice is cracking due to illness? And I'll tell you, kids, a small part of it's genetics, but the big credit, however, goes to Shauna and all the fine folks over at Mirror. Now, if you are in the Helena area, make your reservations today for all of your hair, nail, or spa needs. Walk-ins are always welcome. If you get on in there today, you tell them Quad M sent you, you will get $5 off any service they provide. That's a hell of a deal. What are you waiting for? Get your reservations made today. Give them a call, 406-603-0644, or stop on in at 2043 North Last Chance Gulch in Helena. That is Mirror Salon and Spa. Well, that's 2 weeks worth of build-up right there.
There we go.
Well, I don't have much in the way of segues, so you know what else has been built up for 2 weeks?
What?
The Frenchie Sanford Award for Excellence in Stupid.
Moron.
You're a moron.
Idiot.
Idiot.
Dullards.
You're always this stupid. Did you take lessons?
The FGS Award for Excellence in Stupidity.
Oh, does that mean we have a double whammy?
No, no.
Are the test results in from a couple weeks ago yet?
No. I have yet to follow up.
Oh.
Okay, so I've got a second homework assignment. The first homework assignment we talked off camera because I'm going to surprise you kids with it. But the second homework assignment, we will follow up with our boy, whose name escapes me at this moment in time, to see whether or not his drink was
Spiked.
Yes.
I don't think it was.
You think he willy-nilly just said, I'm gonna, you know what, the wife's pissing me off enough. Yeah, fuck that ball-busted bitch. I'm gonna go fuck me a horse.
Yep.
I'm gonna go shag a pony.
Yeah.
That'll show her.
Yeah. I don't think his drink was spiked. I think it was just a normal drink.
Well, speaking of spiked drinks, or lack thereof, this week's award winner comes to us from Florida.
Nice.
We haven't talked Florida in some time.
Okay.
Oh, so a Florida couple was arrested last week after they were caught allegedly selling drugs out of a drive-thru window they constructed out of the side of their mobile home.
Well, hi, everybody.
I read a little snippet of that, and that is fucking awesome.
William Parrish Jr. and Mackenzie Dobbs of Ocala, Florida, were arrested on August 23rd after investigators raided their mobile home following reports of 4 drug overdoses in the area. Ocala police said the couple had turned a kitchen window into a drive-thru so drivers would not have to constantly enter and exit their home, potentially drawing unwanted attention.
Oh.
So having a drive-thru installed,
Right, you fucking...
all the fucking the driveway paving that went through the fucking backyard, that wouldn't draw attention. The sign out front, Crackhouse, hundreds and thousands served, that wouldn't draw any fucking attention at all.
Hey, pull up to an order board in your jalopy and...
The crackhead standing outside wearing a sandwich board saying, giving your specials of the week.
I'll take a quarter ounce of Afghan Kush, an 8-ball of your best, and a bottle of Jack.
Oh, can I get the Acapulco Gold Happy Meal for the kids? Oh, no, wait, hold on. It's a cracked in, so it'd be the Acapulco Gold Groovy Meal.
Groovy meal.
The Groovy Meal.
Wow, man.
The house had signs directing people where to drive and indicated what time it was open and closed.
You're fucking kidding me. So
What?
it wasn't far off from our joke. Oh, my God.
We were seeing some overdose incidences that were happening in this particular area, specifically at this particular location, said Ocala Police Captain Stephen Cuppy, as opposed to their other locations located throughout the greater Ocala area. There were some heroin sales that were going on there. Subsequently, through the investigation, we were able to determine that product was laced with fentanyl.
Ooh.
I'm not too big on the culture. What exactly do you know offhand what exactly fentanyl is and does?
Fentanyl is a narcotic painkiller.
Oh, okay. So this was like the super deluxe.
It's it's a narcotic.
This would be like the double whopper of heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know what fentanyl is. I know that it's a narcotic painkiller and it's prescription only, of course. That's pretty much all I know.
Right. Well, I'm just saying if it's laced with heroin, this would be like the Hardee's Monster Burger of
Little icing on the cake.
or as they call it, the McCrackdens, a number 10.
Number 10. Would you like fries with that? Or wait. Would you like fry with that?
Would you like Ronald McCrackhor and his fry buddies? Shit, that's a marketing thing. We could probably fucking...
I think you found a thumbnail for the show.
Yeah, the picture of the... Yeah, I saw that. I saw that when I was doing the article. Yeah.
Close sign in their fucking window. I mean, Jesus jumped up to you.
We'll be back at 8, I think it said on there. 7 or 8.
Oh, that's fucking dumb.
Parrish, age 32, was charged with driving under the influence. How the fuck... I'm not seeing anything in the story about him getting pulled over.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh... Driving under the influence, keeping a dwelling used to sell drugs, possession of drugs with intent to sell, and resisting arrest without violence, according to Marion County Sheriff Office inmate records. Dobbs, age 20, has also been charged with keeping a dwelling used to sell drugs, possession of drugs with intent to sell, possession of fentanyl, and possession of fentanyl with the intent to sell.
Yep. If I saw her in the grocery store, that's what I'd think too.
You found the pictures?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're a handsome couple. Oh, yeah.
Cute. Don't do crack, kids.
When you guys...
Don't do crack. I don't fucking give a fuck about anything else. Just don't do crack, you fucking dipshits.
All right, so to you, William Parrish Jr. and Mackenzie Dobbs of Ocala, Florida, congratulations. You guys are the winners of this week's FGS Award for Excellence in Stupidity.
You dummy!
You did a very, very, very good job. We're very proud of you.
Like any enterprising American, sometimes you just have a misstep or two. Next time, just, don't have the fucking flashing signs outside.
I think she would have learned the first time.
The first time?
Yeah, didn't you say she already had a record of...
No, not in that story, no.
Okay.
No. Unless it was mentioned in some other story. No.
I don't know.
No. All they said was there were 4 overdoses specifically in that area, and specifically at that location.
Great.
So I would say, yeah, you would think after the fucking first overdose, they would, inform their customers if you're going to OD somewhere else.
Apparently not. Apparently they might have had a fucking lounge set up and everything.
It's called the playroom.
It's the picnic table behind the oak tree.
Let's get into some hot takes.
News and notes from all 4 corners of the pop culture world.
And the sign gotta stay hot! You gotta stay hot! You gotta stay hot!
It's time for some hot takes.
So first item up for bid. So the other night, we went ahead and watched ourselves the Happytime Murders.
Yes, we did.
A movie that we had been waiting with bated breath for quite some time now, at least a couple months. And, just to kind of inform, I'm sure most of the kids out there already know, but a movie that was, that I didn't know until I was reading up on this about, like, last week before everything was going on. A movie directed by Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son, as part of the Henson Alternative production company, where they're want to do more adult-oriented puppet-ish type movies or whatever under a new banner for Henson Entertainment. I had no idea until I was looking stuff up the other day. Huh. But leading up to this, I was kind of reading on stuff, and wow, people were shitting on this movie.
I kind of read a lot of shit talking too.
There was a lot of people that fucking shit on this movie. And as we get into it, as always, kids, it's the Quad M Show, so spoilers abound.
Yep.
I didn't think it was near as bad as fucking people were saying. No, at least not, not... I mean, I could see where they would lose their ass. I mean, I can see why it only made $10 million on the opening weekend. But I don't think it was as bad as fucking people were saying.
Nah, it's not as bad. I mean, I'm not saying my time was wasted. I wrote a few positive things about the movie.
Okay.
I did. Positive thing number 1. This is not a theatrical masterpiece. Okay? That is a positive thing, because you don't go one of these movies expecting to fucking see a theatrical masterpiece that you're going to make your kids watch because it's so fucking great.
Dear God,
okay?
no. Dear God, no.
It's a simple, fun movie. That's it. The simple crime noir story was I kind of liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And the characters were actually somewhat interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The raunchy sex jokes and toilet humor, right up the alley.
Yep.
Excellent giggle factor there. And the puppeteering was pretty good.
Very, very much so. Going into it, like you said, first things first, you cannot go into this movie fucking thinking it's going to be, like on point, intelligent, groundbreaking, thought-provoking comedy. No. If you go into that, that's like going to Expendables and thinking that it's going to be, just the most reflective self. You're going in there and you come out thinking, oh my God, this has changed my world. Type. No, it's fucking guns, bullets, and explosions.
Right.
If you're going in there thinking Academy Award-winning picture, you're an idiot and a moron. Same thing here. This is base level dumb humor. And if you do not go, if you're thinking you're going to get something else other than that, then obviously A, you haven't paid attention to the marketing, and B, you're a fucking idiot. Period. I mean, there's just no other way to fucking say it. Story-wise, I'll be honest, I found it to be kind of just, generic. It was generic, serviceable. It was a generic, serviceable story that allowed for the humor. And like you said, the humor was right at the fucking alley, and it saddens me that a lot of the funnier shit, and they do this with everything nowadays, because we made a joke about one of the fucking previews where it was like your fucking typical stupid pandering bullshit, but there was one bit that actually I popped for. I can't remember what it was, and it's a fucking throwaway. And I go, sorry, there was just the one thing I had to pop in. And even you said, yeah, and that's going to be the funniest thing in the fucking movie. And I says, that's exactly right.
Oh yeah.
And so, the scene with the octopus and the cow,
right.
that had been online, So I mean, yeah, it was still even the extended movie version of it is still way fucking funnier, But it had already been seen. Save some of you people making these fucking trailers and you people doing the marketing on this shit. Save it for the show, man.
Yeah.
I literally would have pissed my pants laughing if I had not known that was there beforehand, as opposed to waiting to.
I didn't know anything. I didn't watch. The only thing I seen were a couple trailers here and there that weren't a few of the first trailers.
Right.
And then I didn't watch anything else online about it, so.
Well, and it's one of those things where it kind of fucking slips past, because, I started watching some of those Happytime commercials on YouTube. So it snuck past me. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if they're showing that, they gotta really have some good shit. And honestly, that was one of the really, top 3 gags of the movie. And like I said, it's one of those deals where you guys gotta fucking just cut it back a little bit. Give us a taste, but don't, And like the other thing after the puppet detective Phil Phillips, after he has his sex scene. I didn't see that one, but I was kind of waiting for that one because it was kind of a ripoff of a bit on the Chappelle Show where it was sock puppet sex, and they kind of did the same thing. But here again, they did it, more in your face, and it came out even
all
funnier.
All over the place.
Yeah, literally all over the place. So that'd be my first thing. And again, that's a bitch about the marketing, not the movie. Another thing I would like to do, I would like to apologize to Melissa McCarthy. As much shit and as much flack as I gave her when Ghostbusters was coming around, I have to admit, I enjoyed her in this movie.
She actually had some funny parts and stuff. There was it was solid. So there was big chuckles, little chuckles throughout the entire movie. So.
Right. Yeah.
And we weren't the only people there laughing and stuff. The theater was not packed. We didn't have to fight for seats. There was maybe.
Oh no.
It was maybe like 25 people in the theater.
Was there even that many? I thought I only counted like 8, and that's including us.
I'm being generous because it was still dark. We got there during the previews and it was dark. So
right, yeah. Okay.
I'm being generous at 25, which is.
But yeah, I mean, it was a case of where she wasn't overhamming scenes. She wasn't playing to the whatever. It was good good solid acting.
Right.
I mean, I enjoyed her in the movie. So again, I just want to give the apology for all of the abuse that I gave during the lead up for Ghostbusters.
Now, who she kind of reminded me of, and I was saving this until like we did this. But,
okay.
She kind of in this movie. She kind of reminded me of some older John Candy. Kind of.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but
yeah, no. Like when she's snorting the sugar,
type of stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
She kind of. I don't know.
No, I see where you're going. I don't know how to
explain it. Kind of reminds me of John Candy a little bit. I don't mean that in an offensive way. Maybe she is.
Yeah, not because they're both fat or anything like that. No, but
the way they do their humor is kind of, to me, it's kind of similar.
Right.
I mean, they're two different people, but people do things kind of similar sometimes.
Yeah.
And the way they do their humor and stuff is kind of similar.
Yeah. I understand exactly what you're saying there, and I can see it. I can see it. Yeah.
Maybe she was inspired by John Candy because she's got to be roughly our age, or maybe I don't know, somewhere in there.
I would say in our generation,
right?
We're out there. Yeah.
Yeah, if she grew up watching movies, she had to have seen at least 12 John Candy movies.
A lot of the fucking criticism on this movie is just, just base level humor. There's so much more they could have done to, for the adulting, blah, 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 fucking blah.
Then don't go see the movie.
Exactly.
If that's not your kind of movie.
Exactly. To me, yes, the jokes are very fucking baseline. But I'm sorry, when the crackhead puppet was named Goofer or whatever,
right?
When he starts rambling off various fucking like the dirty fucking sex things that he's offering up for 50 cents a pop, I mean, I'm fucking dying. But that kind of leads to the stuff that I will criticize, and I do have criticisms on the movie. Number one, now granted, as piss poor of a flop as this movie has become, I mean, just to be honest, I think it will become a cult hit when it comes out, like DVD, Netflix, whatever it may be. I think that's where it's going to pick up its steam.
It might do better, yeah.
And so people will be more willing to give it the chance, and then we'll start seeing some sequels. My biggest problem is, you killed off damn near everybody in the fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
So how the characters that you're going to want to stick around. And really, for me, there were two. The two characters that I would love to see return, obviously, number one, Phil Phillips, and number two, Goofer. The fucking crackhead, Unless you're talking about your penis.
Yeah.
But here again, you're not going to be able to fucking have that because, they fucking... I can't remember. Goddamn, I wish I wasn't so fucking sick and medicated. I could have remembered the fucking lines that they used. Like, this is when you see him washed up on the shore and like, yeah, this is a typical drop and flop or whatever the fucking was. You're not going to want to see this. And they're fucking wringing him out. Just shut off the intelligence of your brain. Just shut off all level of intelligence and just sit and enjoy. With that being said, the other big issue I have with this movie is I think it could have been better served not being a theatrical release.
Wow.
I from what I hear tell, I think they said the budget was somewhere around $40 million. And based on what they showed, like in the kind of the post credits roll, they were showing like the puppeteers, kind of giving us a little bit of a behind the scenes on how it was actually being done. Uh-huh. And so like guys were wearing the green screen suits or however that was fucking working. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool that they showed that to us right there. I thought that was cool. But, and I don't know what a fucking budget for a Netflix show like Bright or Lost in Space had.
Right.
But I honestly do think the Happytime Murders would have been better suited as a Netflix or a Hulu or an Amazon Prime release. I think you could have gotten more eyeballs, better attention, and it's still just as viable a venue as it is a major theatrical deal.
Well, they've got an option for they if they can't do a movie, they've got a series.
What, just go do the Happytime Land show?
They could be a Happy Time series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
Cases and shit like that.
Yeah. But, so that would only be the other knock I have. So maybe they could have went another venue as opposed to theatrical. But, I mean, by and large, I enjoyed it. Do I think it's like upper echelon great, all that type of shit? No. I think it's good. I thought it was funny as hell. I don't know that I put it in my top 10 comedies of all time.
No.
But it had its moments.
It wasn't a waste of time.
No.
It wasn't good. It was good enough.
Exactly. And I'm not going to sit there and say, don't go see it to be a waste of your money. I think a fun date night movie.
Right.
That type of thing.
It'd be a good way to test your date's humor level. Is that movie there?
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
If they don't laugh when fucking I didn't come here to watch an 8-armed reach around. If they're not rolling during that scene, then they're not the person for you, my friend. That's just no.
And the spoiler I'm going to do is the silly string.
Yeah.
It went on long enough to where it wasn't funny, and then they went on longer, and that made it a lot better.
You know what it reminded me of? Frank Drebin taking a piss in The Naked Gun.
Kinda. Yep.
It was that level of like it went on so long that it's quit being funny, and then you had the pause, and then it went on again to make it funnier.
Yep.
Same thing there. It's like Frank Drebin farting, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's back to pissing again. Yes, yeah, it would rank right about in there. So for me, I'm gonna give it out of 5. I'm gonna give it right down the middle a 2.5.
2.5. That sounds fair enough. 2.5.
I'll
agree with that.
Like
2.5.
Average, not bad. No, not bad, not great. It's not something I'm gonna shit on. But I'm not gonna sit there and say this. You gotta see this fucking movie. If you watch it, great. Did you like that scene? That type of thing. So,
right.
I think 2.5 out of 5 is fair.
Right. I'll agree with that. 2.5.
See, there you go, kids. I don't fucking just sit there and give everything a 4.
Or a 5 out of 10. Whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
2 out of 4. A 1.5 out of 3.
A strong C+. You're not going to feel, like you said, you're not going to feel that you wasted your fucking time. It's just mindless fun.
Right.
And that's what we need more of in this life.
Indeed.
Okay, so, good sir, as we were talking a little bit pre-show, and he says, I'm getting show prep done, I was shocked and awed.
Right.
And to which, and I don't remember the fucking name of the goddamn segment as we had it, but let's go ahead and revisit an old favorite in Jason, great moments in Jason's military history. Jason's greatest moments in military. Whatever. Okay.
Because it's not my history. Damn
exactly.
it. I didn't do this shit.
Jason presents great moments in obscure military history. There. Okay.
I think the last one we did was another World War II story. And I have another one from World War II.
I think it was Project Mincemeat.
Mincemeat. Yep, it was Mincemeat.
I think it was Mincemeat.
Now, this isn't an operation. This is a story of Hiro Onada. He was an Imperial Japanese Army intelligence officer who fought in World War II. He did not surrender in 1945. Okay. He spent 29 years hiding in the Philippines until his former commander traveled from Japan to relieve him of duty in 1974.
Is this... Okay, question up front?
Sure.
is this similar to that old joke that I think I saw like an episode of Gilligan's Island where you had the one Japanese World War II soldier that never knew that the war ended?
It's a true story.
Okay, but it follows along that line, right? Okay, all right. I'm with you.
Except
okay.
it's real.
Except it's real. Jesus Christ. or an appropriate shorter answer would be yes.
But we're not doing that this week.
Thank you for that.
In 1944, he was sent to Lubang Island in the Philippines in order to hamper enemy attacks on the island. Because that's when America was, America and Japan were fighting over the Pacific.
Sure. Right.
America was moving into the Pacific to get into range of Japan to fucking bomb them.
Yeah. Battle of the Midway and all that type of stuff.
Correct. He was ordered to never surrender or take his own life.
Sweep the leg, Johnny. Sweep the leg.
Well, in Japanese culture, it's sometimes they'd rather kill themselves than be dishonored by being beaten in battle type of stuff.
Yeah,
it's a cultural thing. Okay?
Yeah, it's like the Harry Carey type stuff.
American, you don't have to tell American soldiers, hey, don't kill yourselves. In February 28th, in 1945, the island was actually taken by the American forces and stuff. And Onada and 3 other soldiers were the only ones that survived.
Okay.
And, or didn't surrender. They continued their holdout for like decades. With the 3 other soldiers, they survived by carrying out like guerrilla raids, like raiding rice stores and shit like that.
Okay, little hit and run tactics.
Yep, guerrilla warfare type of stuff.
Yeah.
Even shootouts with the police and whatnot, because according to them, they were still fighting the war. They did not know the war was over. And,
question up front.
What?
In Japan, were they known as Bonnie and Clyde?
Attempts were made.
Thank you.
To let Onada know that the war was over. They dropped leaflets and they dropped like messages from his relatives and family and pictures and stuff.
Okay.
But they thought they were like faked, just propaganda type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
In 1974, Onada met a Japanese man named Hiro Suzuki, who was actually searching for Onada. He was, up until he was actually found, he was kind of like one of those like mystery legends, like Bigfoot or Bermuda Triangle, something like that. Something that, like nobody really believed in, but type of stuff. And
Right.
And Onada still refused to surrender until he was told to do so by his commanding officer. Hiro Suzuki returned to Japan with proof of Onada's existence, photographs and documents, stuff like that. And the Japanese government was able to find Onada's commanding officer. He was still alive.
Oh, shit.
Right, Major Yoshimi Taniguchi. And in 1974, Major Yoshima Taniguchi met with Onada and issued the following orders: that in accordance with an imperial command, the 14th Area Army has ceased all combat activity, and in accordance with Military Headquarters Command Number A2003, the Special Squadron of Staff's Headquarters is relieved of all military duties. And basically told to surrender immediately and whatnot.
It's like Troutman coming in to tell Rambo to knock his shit off.
Kinda, yeah. Then he was like properly relieved of duty and surrendered, and he turned over his sword, his still functioning Arisaka Type 99 rifle with 500 rounds of ammo, and several hand grenades, and a dagger given to him by his mother.
He turned over the dagger?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, he was ordered to return all weapons. He received a pardon from the president, Ferdinand Marcos of the Philippines.
Okay.
Because, I mean, him and his guys, they killed a few people. They were still fighting war. So,
right.
Because he gave them a pardon because according to the way they were living, they were still fighting the war. So,
yeah, they didn't know no better.
Yeah, he went back to Japan and continued. He lived out his life. He wrote a book about his experience and stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Onada was his name? Well.
Hiroo.
Hiro Onada.
Hiro Onada. Yep.
Well.
Something like that.
How about that?
Right. Until 1974. I was born in 74. When
there
were you?
Go.
75?
6.
Yeah. I burped. It felt good. So there's another fun, interesting story from World War II.
The fun facts.
Right.
Not entertaining and educational, kids.
Educational. See? So, yeah, you can get a few buddies, some guns and shit, and you can hold out on a island.
and you could pretend, and you could use the excuse that I thought the war was still going on.
Right.
It's
what
over,
war is
John.
that, sir?
It's never over. It's never over.
It's never over.
It's never over.
It's never over, Gene.
It's never over.
Oh, no. It's never over.
First blood.
This is incredibly racist.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry about that, but yeah, that was worth it. Oh, speaking of, it's never over.
It's never.
So, this past weekend, we didn't do a show because I was in Chicago, Illinois, participating in Wizard World Chicago. A fantastic 4-day event, and just to give my review and recap, here, I'll give the summary in one quick sentence. From the time I left my house to get to the airport to probably today, it has been nothing but just a continual shit show. Aww. Anything that could possibly go fucking wrong went out of its way to fucking do it. And do it in spectacular fashion, I might add. First, go ahead and we'll start off with when I left the Quad M World headquarters at about 5 a.m. on that Wednesday, and I get to load up the rig, leave the house, get to the airport, unloading all my shit, close up doors, and then I hit the little button on my keychain. And all of a sudden, I did not hear a chirp chirp. To which I said, okay, what the fuck? I get into my car. There is no dome light going on. I stick the key in. I try to fucking start. There's not even any attempt for the fucking rig to try to kick over and start. So I said, okay. I've only got 2 options here. And one of them ain't gonna fly. Which is basically just not go to fucking Chicago. So I go ahead and I manually lock everything down, bring everything into the airport. And go ahead and fly off. Didn't have an issue, thank God didn't have an issue with the connecting flight. You know, it's funny, I hadn't flown in about 10 years. So I wasn't aware of some of the newer changes that have taken place. One of them being, you don't have to fucking rent headphones to be able to watch the in-flight movie anymore. Because it used to be cases the headphones they had like a fucked up jack. And so you couldn't just get in and be able to listen. You had to rent the headphones for whatever the ungodly dollar amount was. Instead, now, the like the headrests of the seats actually had like tablet-sized screens.
Oh. So you had your own little screen.
And so once they start doing the pre-flight announcements, and you see the little steward doing the hooking up the seatbelt and showing you how to inflate your whatevers and whatnots, you then proceed to select your language, and then you can select whatever movie they have on file. You go ahead and you select your movie, you select your TV, whatever it is you want to watch, and you just simply take your standard headphone, 8th-inch headphone jack, plug her in, and you're off to the races.
So bring your own headphones.
Just bring your own headphones.
Nice.
Now, of course, it's only for the longer flights, like the Helena to Salt Lake flight. It's like an hour flight. They're not going to do that there. But the Salt Lake to Chicago flight,
okay,
yeah, because it's like a 3-hour deal. So, get into Chicago and get the taxi from the airport to the hotel. And chap wasn't very talkative. He was kind of a young buck, and I think was just kind of, I don't know that it was his first day, but I guess I don't want to say he was completely fresh off the boat, but when I had to explain to him and spell out, when I says, I need to go to the Super 8 in Rosemont, he's like, okay, so Super 8? Super? And he's like, and I'm like, okay, SUPER. He's like, yeah, super. And then what? And I says, and the number 8. Oh, 8! And I says, yes, the number 8. And so finally we get, everything's finally like all lined up and everything. And, it's a sad state of affairs when you have to be the one to try to strike up a conversation with your cabbie. But after about 2 minutes of that, I gave up all hope. It was, just okay, fine. So we get to the hotel. I'm like, okay. And the first thing I do, because I had kind of checked in prior to leaving, one of the issues that I knew I was going to have going into this was shipping my materials to the show. Yeah,
you went over that in detail.
Well, with you, but not with the kids on the kids on the show here.
I was recollecting. Fucker.
Oh, really? Do tell.
It's a big pain in the ass. I know that.
So, like the Tuesday before I had left, I had called to get the confirmation number, tracking number, because the company here in town had told me that they will go through a second party, so I will need to get a new routing number from that second party. And I says, okay, cool. And I get that, I call them, and I says, okay, I need this, blah, 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 and I get the number. I says, okay, what's the current situation? Because I need to have that pallet of that merchandise there no later than Thursday. Like, it needs to, because show time is like 4 o'clock Thursday. I need it there no later than noon on Thursday. And the gals, well, they didn't put any type of time critical thing on this. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so well, they're saying it's going to get there Monday. Yeah, no, that's not going to fucking work for me. Oh, well, what do you mean? I says, I need it there for a fucking convention. I need it there Thursday. If you get it there Monday, literally, that is a fucking day late, and that's like 4 days late and $1 fucking short. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to check into this, and I'm going to verify everything, and we're going to, I'll do what I can to try to get this going for you. Okay, fine, fantastic. So I call them when I get to the hotel. And they said, well, I was looking into it, and it's looking like we're not going to be able to get that there until at least Monday. I says, bullshit. I was assured when I brought this to the shipping place that this would get there no later than Wednesday. And I paid for it to be there by Wednesday. Well, I don't know. Well, let me see what I can do. Can I give you a call right back? He says, give me a call. I will call you back in 20 minutes. So I let her go, and I start fuming. And I call back in 20 minutes. And then it's a case of, well, we can get it there tomorrow, but we would have to do the overnight on it, and instead of the $400 that you've paid, yeah, it's going to cost you $1,600.
Fucking bullshit!
To which I say, no, that is completely fucking unacceptable. I will not pay 4 times what I've already fucking paid in the intent that it was supposed to fucking be there when it needed to fucking be there. You're going to have to do way fucking better than that. Well, let me see what we can do. This is okay. I'm going to give you another call in 20 minutes. Let's get this shit hammered out.
Did you actually say that to them?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I was pissed. Because, this isn't like a personal fucking thing. Okay, like say, if I'm calling wondering where the hell a fucking shipment on something is, like an Amazon shipment. If it's supposed to be there for fucking Christmas or whatever the fuck, I mean, hey, a lot adds on me. But I'm not going to raise a fucking stink. I'm sorry, but when I'm conducting business and this is affecting income, yeah, I'm going to fucking raise some hell.
See, it's too bad you couldn't get Amazon to ship shit for you, because Amazon seems to get shit shipped pretty damn good. If a ship could ship.
If an Amazon ship could ship Amazon ship. But yeah, no, I wasn't fucking playing around with this shit. Because at the end of the day, oh no, so I give him the call back 20 minutes later. Well, okay, we're not going to be able to get it there Thursday, but we can get it there Friday. I'm like, okay, I can forego the 5 hours. And you can get there Friday. Yes, however, it's going to cost you $800. And I'm like, no. I am not paying an additional $800, because it wasn't even like adding $400 to what I had already fucking paid. No, it was an additional $800. I'm like, no, I am not fucking paying another $800 fucking dollars so that you guys can get it there a day later than when it was supposed to fucking be there in the first place. Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And then she fucking pipes up about this. Well, as I'm looking at everything, you're not really our customer. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I'm not your customer? Well, it's the shipping company that you brought everything to. They're really our customer, and we're the ones we're supposed to be. We should be dealing with them, and they shouldn't have charged you just $400. I'm like, what bullshit? Because I've seen the fucking shipping rates on stuff. No. The amount that I was fucking charged was correct, flat out. And I flat out said, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and pay extortion money to get my shit shipped when I had sent it like almost 2 weeks ago. And you have it, and literally, I checked on this. It was sitting in a fucking distribution center in Denver for a week. Because, you can see your tracking, like if you ever follow up on that stuff. Right. You can see the history of shit. I'm like, you've had it in this fucking you've had it in Denver for a fucking week. There's no fucking excuse that you could have fucking had this up there by now. This is ridiculous. So, with her and I said, you know what, fuck this. So I called the outfit here in Helena. And I told him what was going on, and I apologized beforehand, saying I'm probably going to be using a lot of strong language, dear. But here goes the story. So I recapped the whole fucking thing with her. And yes, I used the phrase extortion money, forcing me to fucking pay extortion and ransom to get my goods there. And even she's looking at the history on stuff, and she's looking and she's like, what the fuck is this? This is completely unacceptable. I go, yeah, no kidding, it's unacceptable. And she says, let me make some calls. And I says, what time will you be there till? I says, okay, make some calls, and then you can call me back and all this. Okay, fantastic. And this is the first of 3 people that I would like to thank is Dottie over at MTS.
Okay.
She bent over backwards and she made shit happen. She calls me back and she says, well, I got some good news and I got some news. I says, okay, what's the good news? She says, heads are rolling. I says, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, no, VPs are actually calling VPs right now.
Oh, wow.
It fucking went up the food chain, and it was like fucking like accelerant. I mean, this fire was going, and she's like, yeah, no, and I can tell you right now, you are not going to be charged additional to get your stuff up there in a timely fashion. I says, okay. So what's the menu? She says, well, it's a timely fashion. I says, okay. She says, it will be there Friday. I says, okay. I can handle that because, you know, you've done what you could on your end. I'm not going to fucking shoot the messenger on this because it wasn't her or the company she works for. It was this intermediate middleman that decided to fuck everything up. And I had the wherewithal because, once again, I had called on Tuesday and saw what the shit show that was going to be fucking happening. So I made sure to pack 20 copies of each issue of Enigma
in your carry-ons and stuff.
Between my suitcase and my backpack. I made sure I brought 20 copies of each, plus the 2 Sharpies, the silver and the black Sharpie, because I figured no matter what, I'm gonna try to make at least some level of sales on Thursday, no matter how much of a pittance it was. So get all that squared away. Okay, fine, fantastic. And so I left it at that. And then Thursday comes about. And the hotel was roughly about a 3-mile walk to the convention center. And the walk to and from the show actually was not that bad of a walk. A little warm outside, yeah, and I don't know why I always have to fucking start every goddamn convention being a goddamn, just a sweaty, haggard mess. But inevitably it fucking happens. I mean, there's just no 2 ways about it. So, I get there, throw my funny books down, and I go milling around, walking and seeing what's going on. And I come back, and the one of the 2 guys that was working the table next to me was there. And his name was David McConaughey, and he's a writer and artist, and he is number 2 of the people that I want to thank, because as the show progressed, he was willing to give me rides back to the hotel after the fact. I took Uber to get to the shows, but then he gave me rides back. And gotcha. So to that, I mean, I gave him some Enigmas in a T-shirt. I gave him the Enigmas in the shirt as a humble token of my appreciation for what he did. But we sat there and had a really good talk, and all that, and he was a really cool dude. Then the next day, the second guy showed up, and I can't remember his name for the life of me, so at least I know I'm not calling anybody out. But he was kind of a douchebag. Because me, I'm one of those guys that I like to be a good neighbor.
Right.
I like to be friendly with the people that are working next to me and around. Be able to, maybe, in those little bit of a lulls, type of, shoot the shit a little bit and, kind of how's it going. And he was friendly up to the point where we shook hands. After that, just a cold fish. There would be times where, getting stuff set up and all that, and then things would be dying down, and I look over, I make some comment like, well, hopefully we pick up a little bit here, and you just kind of look at me, kind of sneer a little bit, go, huh, and then go back, and I'm like, wow, okay, you're okay, fine, whatever. And so, didn't deal with him for really the rest of the fucking time. And the Friday of the Friday of the show, as I'm unloading the pallet, getting everything moved over, and here again, David, he was helping me load stuff over because contractually they weren't allowed to give us a pallet jack or a cart or anything. So I had to, basically, it was like a 100-yard walk from the bay doors to the table to bring all my shit over. And after about the third trip, he's like, how much more do you got? And I says, I'm about a quarter of the way done. He's like, oh my God. Here. And so he came over and find help. So once again, totally stand-up dude. And so as I'm kind of, getting everything finished up, all of a sudden I have this little tickle in my throat. I'm like, I think I, swallowed some spittle the wrong way, or maybe a Cheeto or something got kind of caught trying to, unlodge it. And then Saturday morning I woke up and it's full-blown con crud.
No! No!
Sick as a fucking dog. I'm dying. And it pissed me off to no extent. It fucking sucked. Because Thursday and Friday built my hopes up. Because it was one of the better opening day sales wise that I've had. As far as numbers go.
Right.
So Saturday I'm thinking, fuck yeah, I'm going to rock it. We're going to fucking knock this shit out. This is going to fucking be awesome. And here again, the sickness hit. And I'm on my fucking deathbed. I made less sales on Saturday than I did Friday, which says a lot.
Ouch.
Anybody who's ever worked conventions knows. Add that to the fact that, of course, because it's Wizard World, and it's because it's Artist Alley, and of course because I'm the farthest row of tables away from fucking everything going on, the people who really did want to, who were still interested in checking shit out, were fantastic. But for the most part, it's the fucking Walking Dead by the time they get to you. They're so oversaturated and full on sensory overload, glossy fucking eyes. You have to be on the top of your sales game to be able to fucking draw people over. And it was a fucking nightmare, and I was having a bitch of a time. And this is where I was talking about, Surly McDouchebag. People would come up, and I would go ahead, give them the pitch and try to sell them. They're like, okay, well, it's not really my genre. It's like, okay, cool. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the show. And the minute they cross from my table to his, he immediately pipes up, oh, well, if you don't like that one, maybe you'll like this one. I'm like, really? Really, you fucking douchebag? You're going to play that fucking card? You're an asshole. But fortunately, it was by that point where I kind of told my David there. I says, as he was giving me the ride back to the hotel Friday, I says, so what's the deal with this guy? I was like, yeah, he was fine at the introduction. Then he's just like a total standoffish, kind of a douchebag. And he goes, well, that's just him. When he gets in, he's all business. And I'm like, okay, I guess if you don't want to have fun with what you're doing, okay. And he goes, and also, he kind of sees you as competition. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean sees me as competition? It's like, you're both selling comics. And it's like, yeah. Okay, here I am, fucking crime noir, action adventure, and you guys are selling faith-based comics. Which is fine, Jesus and his super friends or what the fuck ever. That's fine. But we're not in direct competition, man. It's like fucking, Spawn and Archie.
Right.
It's two clearly different things. If you're going to have somebody who's into that, they're going to go for it. And he's like, I know. But that's just him. And I says, would you do me a favor? And he says, what's that? And I says, tomorrow when you get in, because you will get there before he does, get the seat at the end of the table next to me. Because I would much rather be able to fucking look at you and to be able to have like somewhat of a conversation during the dead times. Like, yeah, well. So, but anyways, yeah, Saturday, I'm fucking dying. I had to find one of the beautiful things about going to a bigger major metropolitan area is that you go to a convenience store and all of your cough and cold medicines they're not out on display. They keep them behind the counter. And I understand because a lot of them can be used for, illicit purposes.
Yeah.
But, if you're going to be doing that, if you're going to be having, medication to help a sick guy try to get himself better in order to rock the sales, don't have people fresh off the boat working the counter. 2 separate incidences. The funniest being the second one, where we're going to a Shell station. And it's big layout, and I'm looking around. Of course, I'm not seeing anything, so I go up to the counter. And I says to her, and she... I don't want this to sound like being too stereotypical and racial when I say this, but she looked like she spoke English well, initially. But I go up and I says, do you got like any cough syrup back there? Cough syrup, Dayquil, anything like that? I doing what I do, Dayquil. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, Dayquil, cough, cough syrup's like, oh well, I got the, I don't have NyQuil. I says, I don't want NyQuil. Don't want to be drowsy as I'm rubbing my eye. This the universal sign for sleepy time.
That's crying. Sleep is this.
No, drowsy. No, crying would be this, wouldn't it?
No, this is cry.
Is it crying?
That's cry.
Sleepy time. Okay, all right, fine. Sleep,
cry.
Okay, hands together to the side. Okay, all right. Universal sign for sleep.
So you're giving her mixed signs.
So I'm giving her mixed signals.
It's like the lady at the DM.
As I so often do with women with ladies of the fair. Yeah. So I'm like, coffee time medicine, coughs. I don't, well, NyQuil? I says, no, I don't want. So, okay, well, I don't. How, these? And she hands me fucking Dayquil. I'm like, okay, yes. How many? Eat the last one. I says, okay, give me that. Okay, and then what else do you have over there? Do you have any cough medicine, anything? I don't. These. And then she hands me a fucking full box of Dayquil. And I'm like, this will work just fine, thank you. So at least I got Dayquil to help me kind of get through the fucking day. And of course loaded up on the Hall's cough drops to try to make it through. And then so Sunday, it was basically just fucking survive the day. That was the whole fucking goal and gambit. Still made a couple of decent sales, but at the end of the day, it ended up not being near the fucking show that I wanted. And a lot of people want to shit on Wizard World, calling it, the fucking McDonald's of conventions, and they don't give a shit about the Artist Alley people, and they don't give a shit about the fans. They're just in it for the money and all that, to which I say, well, it's a fucking business, and that's how they run it, whatever. And I personally have never had an issue dealing with anybody staff-wise. They've always been helpful to me. So I'm just saying, as an artist, working Artist Alley, you can't hold them accountable for your lack of sales, your lack of drawing people in, your lack of gaining and garnering attention. If your shit is of quality, it's up to you to draw the fucking people in, no matter how. So when it comes to what I will call a failure, I will say that 75% of that fell on me. And the reason it fell on me was because I was literally on my fucking deathbed dying of illness. And it was a fucking nightmare. Now, that being said, show-wise, I mean, it was a great show. It was fucking packed. People were there. I mean, but it was just, by and large, I think it was just too big of a show. And I think for good old Quad M, I think going forward it's going to be a practice of going with smaller and possibly mid-level size shows. Like, I know we were talking a little while back about, looking into possibly doing San Diego at some point. Until we're a name with a movie deal, I don't think I will ever want to do San Diego.
Right.
Because, again, you're just a little blip on a huge fucking map. And it one of the things that you had said when I was talking about doing Chicago, you said, Chicago will break you. and to that I say, in 2 out of 3 categories, you were correct. Obviously, financially is the big one. Physically, physically would be the thing. But
not spiritually.
Despite the lackluster number of sales, when I have a number of people who bought a copy of issue number 1 and come back to get the remainder of the combo deal and get the remainder of the issues, when I have somebody who picks up the books, comes back later, singles me out, comes back and says, and literal words says, you were right. And I'm like, okay, how was I right? She's like, I can't wait. When is the next one coming out? This is really engaging. These characters are great. I'm in. When is the next one coming? Says, we're working on it right now. It's like, it's very engaging. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Right on.
All it takes is that small handful of compliments. People that enjoy the work we are doing, that enjoy the product we are putting out. When I hear that, the fucking bank account will tell me otherwise. But spiritually, not even close to fucking broken. Nice. As long as people, without me having to pay them to do it, tell me how much they're enjoying Enigma, it makes it fucking worth it, dude. It makes it worth fucking 3 days of crazed crud illness. It makes it worth 3 days of surly McDouchebag going out of his way to fucking bury me so he can sell fucking Jesus and his super pals. It makes it worth it knowing that just being the little dot on that big, huge fucking map, that it touched somebody out there. Like, I can say, yeah, I've got fans in Chicago. That's pretty fucking cool. So, spiritually and physically, yeah, broke motherfucker. Spiritually, not even fucking close, dude.
Indeed.
So with that being said, we will go ahead, we will take our last break, we will come back for our third and final segment with a little bit of Reddit fun.
Right.
Squad M Show, kids, stay tuned.
In a city where corruption rules the streets, only one man can stop the serial killer known as the Blood Bandit. James Kurt, a former police officer turned private investigator, must race against the clock to stop the madman before he achieves his ultimate diabolical goal. When JK's brother Alex is thought killed in the line of duty and mysteriously returns with no memory of his past life, the stakes are raised even higher. Enigma, the comic book series from Quad M Productions, written and illustrated by TJ Damon, with colors and effects by Jason Vickers. Enigma. Order your copy at quadmproductions.com today.
You're listening to the Quad M Show. Segment 3.
Welcome back to the third and final segment of this here Quad M Show. Again, we are your hosts, I'm TJ.
And Jason.
Losers, in other words.
And this segment, as always, is brought to you in part by DeeplyDapper.com. Now, you've heard us go on and on about all the sweet merch that you can pick up over there at DeeplyDapper.com. Original art prints, vinyl wrapped metal flasks, custom key hangers, light switch plates, and all of those handmade soaps, everything based on your favorite pop culture nerd world properties, but there is so much more. Get on over there to deeplydapper.com. Make sure to check out the 3D Podcasket and the Robot Kraken podcasts once you are done listening to us, of course, and all the other various whatnots and to-dos that our buddy Chris McClanahan has to offer over there. What are you waiting for? Get on over there. You ain't got no excuses. DeeplyDapper.com. Once again, Deeply Dapper. Better living through tentacles.
Why did the squid have to pay $1 million in ransom?
Please do tell.
His wife was squid napped.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Squid. Oh, boy. Yeah, we opened up a regular Pandora's box on this one, kids.
Oh yeah.
One thing, a couple things I forgot to mention in my story, my Chicago story. And just real quick, just to get them out of the way. Couple of memorable events. Number one, on the cab ride from the hotel to the airport as I was leaving. First off, I was looking to get an Uber, and the cab was just sitting there. And he goes, "Are you going to airport?" And I says, "Yeah." He says, "You called cabman?" I says, "No, I'm about to call Uber. I'm calling." "Are you sure? I'm supposed to pick someone up at 11. I'm like, "It's not me, dude." I was like, "Well, 5 more minutes, I take you to airport." I says, "Okay." 5 minutes. Whoever called the cab still hadn't showed up, so I end up fucking going with, the dude whose name I don't remember off the top of my head. And in the midst of the drive, he ends up getting the call from the cab office going, "Where are you?" And he's like, 10-4. I am bringing person to airport from hotel. You got the wrong man. It was like this whole fucking shit show that was going on. It was fucking hilarious. But what was even funnier was talking to this dude, and he's going, "Oh, Uber fucking killing my business. Uber killing business. I make $300 per day. Now I struggle to get even one. Oh, it's crazy." And then he starts going off about, and the funny thing, and we're sitting there talking about like gas prices and, various whatnots to do's. The price of cigarettes there is outrageous. $11 for a pack of smokes.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. And I may mention that. He's like, "Oh, this Rosemont, all controlled by the mafia. All controlled by," I thought that was all Chicago. "Oh, not so much now. Like the road we are taking here to get to airport." And I says, "Yes." And he goes, "Prostitutes as far as the eye can see." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Oh, the hookers and the drugs. Anything you want. Hit the call right through here. Now, nothing." I'm like, wow, okay. Mafia control everything, and they legalize the gambling, so that's where the hookers go.
Oh, awesome.
And next to once again give thanks to a lot of people who are fucking helping out. I want to thank my neighbor Joe and good friend of the show Jamie Bronson, who happened to be in town, helping to try to get the car jumped and started. Which goes, it ended up being the alternator, not the battery. And it was the first time I had ever actually see a car die from trying to jump a car like that. I mean, it was bad. I had never seen that happen before. So that's why I had to call Jamie, because luckily he was in town, so that way he could give my neighbor a jump to get him back up and going. It was a whole shit show. But I also want to thank this lovely gal by the name of Yvonne, who I had met in the Chicago airport, because there was crazy delays with the Minneapolis connecting flight. And she also happened to be heading to Helena because living in the Helena area. And so we end up missing the connecting flight in Minneapolis. So, which always ends up happening when I have to fucking fly into Minneapolis. I always end up missing the fucking connecting flight to Helena. I always wind up going to Missoula. It's a lock every fucking time it happens. And so, yeah, after befriending her and talking to her and, just seeing what we can do to try to get back to Helena, we ended up taking the connecting flight to Missoula, and she was so nice. Her husband and her son-in-law made the trek to Missoula and was able to give me the ride back to Helena. So I also do want to give the thanks and the shout out there in the fact that I was still able to make it back home through the goodwill of human beings. There are still some good ones out there. So I just wanted to thank as well. So I just wanted to make sure I tell the story about prostitutes and
thank the strangers.
And thank the strangers for all that type of stuff. So you know what else usually involves delays, prostitutes, and total strangers?
Reddit
fun with Jason.
Right.
Reddit fun with Jason.
What does the hive mind have for us this week?
It's going to be TJ versus Reddit.
Yay!
Again. Yep. It is.
These are always fun.
Let me see. How many did I gather here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I got 10.
10. Okay.
10.
What do we have 10 of?
10 songs that Reddit says are horrible stripper songs. So we got to get a scorekeeper thing here. We got TJ versus Reddit.
Okay. So the name of this game is basically Name That Tune.
Name that tune.
With the topic being horrible songs for strippers.
Horrible songs for strippers.
Okay. All right.
Ready?
Yes, sir. I am ready.
Okay.
To the town of our free
El Paso by Marty Robbins.
Big Iron.
Big Iron? Oh, with a big iron on his hip.
Big Iron.
Big iron on his hip.
Yep.
Okay.
You got Marty Robbins. So we'll give you like.
I was gonna say, how do you do half of a slash mark?
It'll be one of those.
Okay, whatever works. Okay.
Okay. Horrible stripper songs.
Horrible stripper songs. Number 2. Gordon Lightfoot, The Wreck of the Ella Fitzgerald. Gordon fucking Lightfoot. That breaks. I would pay $5 American if we could convince a stripper to dance to that song.
We're not done yet.
I know. We got 8 more.
Okay.
Are you a real villain?
Well, technically, nah.
Have you ever caught a good guy like a real superhero?
Nah.
Have you ever
Theme song to Captain Underpants?
Nah.
I have no idea.
See that I will have to teach you how to be villains.
Okay. I'm tapping out. I don't know.
Lazy Town. We are number 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing I know about Lazy Town, I know it was a kid's show, but it was the How to Make a Pretty Cake mashup with Little John.
That was my very first life experience with Lazy Town.
That's the only.
Glad it's over.
That's. Oh.
So.
No, that Little John video is actually pretty damn funny. I'll show it to you when we're done with the show. It's actually very, very fucking entertaining.
Less Yaki. Next songy.
Less Yaki, more Toony.
Oh, our
the O'Reilly's commercial? Yeah,
it's one of our sponsors.
Don't say that. They can sue us for that.
Not if we say it with sarcastically.
Flight of the Bumblebee?
Flight of the Bumblebee.
Okay. I'm trying to see stripper. This is such an amazing Reddit. I have to admit, this is such an amazing Reddit thread. Just trying to picture a fucking stripper dance to the fucking Flight of the Bumblebee. Trying to picture a stripper dance to the O'Reilly fucking commercial theme jingle would also be good too.
This is going to be a great one too.
Okay. Okay.
You gotta say it to get the point.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna say. Well, okay. I mean, I can't say the Benny Hill theme song because I know that would not count. It actually has a name, and I believe it's not Yakety Sax.
Benny Hill theme is good enough.
Okay.
Okay. I already marked your point down.
Okay. What? So did it actually give a real name for it, or
just Benny Hill theme? That's
okay.
all. That's all I fucking looked up. So
okay. That works then.
Next.
When the day is gone and the night travels on. Everybody Hurts by REM.
You're winning.
When you got the clap and the crabs, every crotch hurts.
Are you done now?
Sometimes. They're okay. Yes, I'm done now.
Spend all your time waiting.
Oh, God. Okay. What is it? Arms of the Angels by Sarah McLachlan?
Yeah.
No. Okay, so here I am seeing strippers in go-go cages looking sad. Can't you help for just 25 cents a day?
Next one. This is one I'd pay a good $5 to see.
Okay, Sarah McLachlan. Okay, Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay.
Yep.
Queen. You know, okay, just as a quick aside, I could actually see a stripper dance to that song.
Mm-hmm. I could.
That one's not nearly as funny as one trying to dance to Benny Hill.
Okay. This one might get you. I don't know.
Okay. Lap dance is so much better when the stripper is crying.
I was lonelier than Kente at a Merle Hager concert that night. I strolled on into Uncle Limpy's home palace looking for love. It had been a while. In fact,
Why'd you think I get stuck on that one?
I didn't think you knew Bloodhound Gang that well.
We've made reference to that song enough times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I told you you're going to win this one, man.
Where are we sitting at right now?
Where are we sitting at? Reddit has 1 point. You've got all... Well, wait. Reddit has another... They have half a point.
Yeah.
Reddit has 1.5 points. TJ has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7...
And a half.
7.5.
So there's only one song left?
2. I think I gave you an extra point somewhere.
Okay. All right.
Whatever.
All right.
Okay.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel pain.
Yep.
I hurt myself today.
That would be Johnny Cash, by the way.
To see if I still feel.
It's a beautiful thing about having a cold. Is I get away with that Johnny Cash, Mr. Ed type voice.
Okay. This is going to be the stumper right here, man. I don't know.
Stumps McGillicuddy.
Okay. You ready? Okay. Get your thinking cap on.
Yep. Star Wars main title by John Williams.
Excellent work. You won.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take that 85% with pride, sir.
What is that, like a A?
Nah, it's like a B.
Anyway, you won. Finally.
Well, you didn't give me drunk or a kid.
No, and that one was pretty easy.
I'm surprised you didn't dig deeper on the list.
Well, I just went with the top ones.
I'm sure. Yeah, I love. See, when we play, TJ versus Reddit, I love the music ones. We don't do those ones enough.
Right. And
like, name that TV theme, name that song, name shitty one-hit wonders of the 80s. If we were able to throw those in with a little bit more frequency, because I think we were talking about this, it's been about a good year and a half since we've played that game.
It's only been about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, with the funny guy over here with the thing.
I know, right? Looking at the non-existent watch.
Yeah, it's hair past a freckle on this on this guy. All right. Well, good sir, as we wind this show down, do you have any picks of the week for the week this week?
I have a pick of the week, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck, I told you I came prepared this time.
Yeah. Damn it, I had 2 weeks. And I did it all in an hour.
I've been using an app here on my phone when I go fishing. It's called Fish Brain. What it is kind of not really I would describe it as social networking, but it's more like social like information sharing. It's like fishermen all over the place, but you like basically log your catch, a photo, basic information, and a short, like, I mean, it's like it's like a Twitter comment, 140 characters or something like that.
Okay.
So you only get, it's very limited on how much there is you post.
Sure.
And it'll geotag where it is. You can put what kind of bait and stuff like that. Comments about the information. It includes the weather report from your smartphone and whatnot.
Okay.
And it's really interesting because you can like go to your area, you can look and see where people are catching fish and what they're catching. Click on their little thing, and brings it up, their photo, their little information and whatnot. And I've only been using it for a short while, and I don't think it's been around for very long because there's not a whole lot of users and stuff.
Sure.
But I'm having hopes that it could be a valuable source of information on fishing.
Right.
On where to catch, what to catch it with, and so on.
Yeah, so basically it's like a fisherman's database.
Kinda, yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice central hub for all of your fishing information.
Kinda, yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And the app is free, so there's ads and there's like sponsored posts and whatnot. So you got to put up with that crap, but it's free, so that's why you put up with that crap.
Sure.
But you can just scroll past it.
Well, and I have to admit that thanks to, the whole trip in and out and all that type of stuff. You know what? No, I will say this. I found, and I'm sure they're well known enough, but I had to hip a couple people to this. Turtles.com. Turtles.com. TEE turtles.com.
What is T-Turtles?
And basically what it is, it's a kind of like a nerdy t-shirt website.
Oh, okay.
And they've got... this is one of these rare fucking moments where I wish I was a chick just so I could wear some of these shirts. Because they are fucking hilarious. Like, one has kind of got this little, cute little ghosty looking thing, and next to it says, "This is Boo Sheet."
Oh, God.
And it's frowny face. Frowny face goes with the arms crossed. "This is Boo Sheet." If you were on Facebook, use this. But, and then you've got, like, do you remember that old cartoon? What was it, like the fucking, oh, God, I want to say Happytime Friends or some shit like that. It used to be on the old G4 network. And it was basically like all the cute little woodland creatures, and they would just fucking brutalize each other. Like horrible death scenes.
I don't remember.
I'll run a couple videos past you, but it kind of reminds me of that. But like, another shirt, you got like the cute little adorable cherub bunny rabbit with the rosy cheeks and the wide eyes and all that, and chainsaws in both hands. And underneath it says, "This is my spirit animal."
And what's this website?
I believe it's tturtles.com. Yes, sir. Okay, so yeah, without the S, tturtle.com. And I mean, these are just, great little fucking Nerd World shirts. Like, so there's the "This is Boo Sheet." So if you got a little lady in your life who's, about that whole fucking talk nerdy to me type bullshit, check out this website. Check out their stuff. It's some pretty cool goings-ons over there. tturtle.com.
Oh, they're so cute.
Adorable, witty, and funny for all of your nerd shopping needs. All right, so with that, good sir, do we have anything left to pimp, promote, propagate, or pander this evening?
No.
Well, that will wrap it up for this week's episode of the Quad M Show. As always, kids, make sure subscribe, rate, and review us on any podcast catching application that you are using. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and follow us as well on Instagram. Username QuadMComics. Do that today. We'd love you for it. Now. So, until next week, gang, this is TJ.
And Jason.
And we will see you all later. Take care.
You've been listening to the Quad M Show. Copyright 2018. Quad M Productions. If you have any comments, questions, queries, quibbles, or concerns, email us at quadmcomics@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at quadmcomics.
And before we start the second segment, another funny little thing, too. Again, the guy next to me, David, right? The guy who was giving me the Reds and shit. He picked up a copy of New Mutants 100 because he was going to have Liefeld, because Rob Liefeld, the guy that created Deadpool and Cable, he was there. And he was doing signings and stuff. And he was like, yeah, I wonder how much he'll charge for me on that. And I said, I don't know. And I go, now, I don't know if you're familiar with the knock against Rob Liefeld. You know, he was one of the superstar artists that formed Image Comics.
Okay.
But his biggest problem was he was the guy that made pouches and the overuse of pouches overly fashionable in the 90s.
A la Deadpool?
A la Deadpool, a la Cable, a la pretty much anything he fucking drew.
Pouches.
Slap a pouch on him. Pouch, 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 pouch. And the second big knock against him was his anatomy. His ability to draw anatomy was horrendous. I'll show you a picture of Captain America he drew. It's one of the things everybody knocks him on.
Is that the one where it's like the big, huge...
He's like standing by the side. And It's like, okay, see, you know exactly the one I'm talking about. Yes.
Yep.
And his inability to draw feet is legendary. Like, I can draw feet better than him. And I suck at drawing feet. I mean, his is like a little bit of a U type of a thing. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. So I look at Dave and I says, so when you go and get that autographed, I will give you $5 American if you ask him to draw a foot made out of pouches.
Oh, no.
He didn't take me up on it. He's like, I don't want him to get pissed at me. No, I want him to sign my shit.
Awesome.
I told him, I said, you can split the $5 with Rob if you want to.